Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. While on the phone with a distributor whose representative had failed to deliver an order of flour to the bakery within the specified time frame, Channel left Sweet Bits. Channel maintained that the flour needed to be delivered before the bakery's scheduled reopening the next day. But the agent said that wouldn't be feasible because deliveries never took place on a holiday. Channel refused to leave Salem amid a family tragedy and travel all the way to Brookville merely to pick up flour from a shady distributor's warehouse, despite the representative's best efforts to propose a compromise. When the employee suggested that Channel should have expected delays on an order placed just before a holiday, things became much more tense. Yeah, well, after your partner leaves town, you try running a business, and your best employee tries to ruin your. Before understanding that Talia was around, Channel yelled at the customer service employee. Channel sighed, looking away from Talia. I just really need something good to happen. And the representative agreed to personally bring the flour later that day. After confirming 8:00 p.m., Channel thanked the agent, ended the call, and then informed Talia of the circumstance. Talia used the chance to express her sympathies to Channel as she was performing community service by cleaning the town plaza. After finding out that the nurse had gone over to offer condolences, Paulina invited Whitley into the Price apartment. Paulina said, "You might have been the last person to see him alive." Whitley said, "That guy at the docks was." When Paulina discovered Whitley had been one of Abe's strongest supporters and had even attended the Juneteenth wedding ceremony the year before, she was astounded. Paulina pleaded to learn about Whitley's interactions with Abe while they were both patients in the hospital. Whitley remembered trying to check Abe's vitals and being confused for Paulina. Abe, according to Whitley, had yelled for Paulina. Whitley quickly left, and Channel arrived at the condo shortly after, prompting Paulina to explain that Abe's former nurse had just been by and offered some consoling words that had made the day just a little bit more tolerable. Paulina quickly shifted the topic because she was curious about Channel's newest employee. Channel began, "She's fine. She's just," Paulina concluded, "not Talia," and Channel nodded to support the assumption before disclosing what had occurred earlier. While alone with Eli in one of the conference rooms at the police station, Lainey read Jerry's acting resume. Lainey informed Eli, "He hasn't been in much," then listed Jerry's acting credits: a few local theater productions, a single commercial, and a soap opera. Body and Soul. "I've never heard of that," Eli said. "Nice try. I know you used to watch it during the day whenever you worked night shifts," Lainey retorted. Eli persisted. "I have no idea what you're talking about." "I see, truly. The TV being on that channel when I got home was just a coincidence, right?" Lainey interpreted. "I admit that I occasionally watched the show, but only because I had a crush on the actress, whose name was, I believe, Saul." Eli retreated. Eli soon added that the actress had only been appealing because she resembled Lonnie just a little bit. "Nice save," Lonnie said, before putting the conversation to rest. Eli and Lainey were discussing Jerry's credibility as a law-abiding witness when Rafe and Jada abruptly entered the police station, shutting off their chat. Rafe and Jada pretended ignorance even though they were aware that a protocol violation had just occurred as Lonnie and Eli hastened out of the conference room together so as not to be seen looking at Abe's case file. Rafe offered to take over responsibility for Lainey's furlough so it wouldn't be canceled after Eli stepped aside to take a phone call, and then came back and started whining about how he had just been sent to Arizona to work on a case. As soon as Talia showed up to turn in some paperwork for community service, Jada used the chance to inquire about Marlena's therapy sessions as required by the court. Jada was reassured by Talia that speaking with Marlena was always enjoyable. "When Talia's probation is up, she even offered to help me find a job at the hospital," she said. "You'll finally return to performing the tasks for which you were trained." After understanding that Talia missed working for Channel at Sweet Bits, Jada withdrew. Talia sighed and said to Jada, "I miss her too?" recalling the previous experience with Channel. Jerry was gazing at the improvised memorial when Theo went onto the pier and noticed him. The question, "Did you know my dad?" Jerry was startled by Theo's query. Jerry introduced himself to Theo and said, "I guess I was drawn to come back because I felt guilty." "Regarding what?" Theo answered. Jerry said, "I almost got to him, but it was too late. I wanted to jump in and help him, but I can't swim." Theo emphasized, "The last thing my dad would have wanted is for you to lose your life trying to save his." Theo added, "At least we know what happened to him." Theo said, "Thank you for that," as Jerry flinched. Jerry sighed and then acknowledged that Theo needed to know something, but Lonnie and Eli interrupted him before he could finish. When the situation was safe, Theo retrieved a battered teddy bear and told Lonnie and Eli they were looking at an old friend named Bruno. Jerry hurried left after claiming to have only been attempting to express sympathies. "When I was 6 years old, Dad bought him for me at a fair. I used to need to be holding this object in order to fall asleep," Theo recalled. Theo said, "Dad probably thought I was going to take all my stuffed animals to high school." Theo added the teddy bear to the improvised monument and said, "He'd be so delighted that I'm leaving this here with him." While alone in the King apartment, Abe continued to watch previous episodes of Body and Soul. "What role does my son play in one of my wife's tales?" As a new character was introduced, Abe murmured. The episode quickly came to a conclusion, and Abe was astonished to discover that the actor portraying the new role was identified as Jerry Prentice in the closing credits. "That is not the name of my son," Abe objected. "Paulina has been deceiving me. What else is she fabricating?" Abe went on. Abe concluded, "I got to get out of here," but Whitley had just arrived. Whitley responded that Theo had not recently worked as an actor and that the name listed in the credits was only a stage name after Abe described what had just happened. Whitley jumped in with a syringe filled with a mild sedative when Abe called the assertion yet another lie and sought for a landline to call the police. While Abe was succumbing to the effects of the medicine, Whitley said, "I can't let you leave, darling, not now, not ever." Talia quickly arrived to return an apron so it could be delivered to the bakery's new employee as Channel soon returned to Sweet Bits for the flour delivery. As she took Talia's apron, Channel acknowledged that the new hire lacked experience. As soon as their hands met, a fireworks show started. Before leaving for the airport, Eli and Lenny watched the fireworks show at the park. Jada and Rafe watched broadcast fireworks at the Hernandez house, while Paulina and Theo watched the same show at the Price condo, while remembering how upset Abe had been about Lonnie's arrest during the last 4th of July celebration. As more fireworks were sent off, Jerry went back to the pier and took a note reading, "Rip Dad. Love you always," out of Theo's teddy bear's claws. He then crumpled the message and threw it into the water. Whitley and Abe, who was essentially catatonic, watched the fireworks show on television. "Isn't this lovely?" Whitley proclaimed, oblivious to Abe's sobbing. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.